last couple of years since YouTube became a big website. I think it's actually been 10 years since YouTube started. Copyright has started to become a huge issue, and it's also been a huge issue in the music industry as well. Because who can use what sample and who can use what certain parts of a song in another part of a song. So the point is, should the internet be copyright free, or should it adhere to the same laws that more traditional medias also adhere to? Okay. So first, just wanted to clarify, according to Mateo Boy from MateoBoy.com, 2006, the purpose of copyright law is to promote the progress of useful arts, which I guess arguably music isn't useful, but anyway, it still stands that it's to protect the creators of the music and not anyone who tries to use it for their own benefit or their own creations, as well as like YouTube videos or anything like that. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with like YouTube culture or news or anything like that, but there's kind of a demonetization apocalypse going on, where YouTube's copyright laws are sort of, this is according to Ryan Cooper from TheWeek.com 2016. YouTubers are getting their videos demonetized because there may be some hint of like a YouTube video that they're using as a brief clip or some music that they're using, and YouTube's copyright algorithm thinks that it's like a no-go. So they're actually losing money from this copyright algorithm. And then also in music, something that's a big debate is whether or not sampling should be under copyright, or if it should just be like Wild West, like anybody can use anything. So according to, there was no author on this one, it was whosampled.com 2018. In music, sampling is the act of taking a portion or a sample, very small bit of a song, and using it in another song. That could range from anything from just like a little sound, like a voice sound bite, to a whole like bass riff, or something like that. And so let's see, this one was I think this was from a website called Computer Music from musicradar.com 2014. So I actually learned about this in my music history class last semester. Basically, hip hop started from people who took like drum machines and they took funk tracks, like Celebration or whatever, like the big funk idols of the time. They took those tracks and sort of remixed them a little bit and added a different beat, and they took like the bass riffs and everything, and it created a track for them to use, so that they didn't have to have a whole live band there. And it basically, sampling was the birth of hip hop, and of course now everyone else has been using it, and it has changed music forever. And like in the EDM and electronic music industry, that sampling is like a staple. And even in pop, like all the time, people are using other bits of songs in their new songs. on the radio. I'm sure you've heard some of that. And so the question is, should it be free? Should on the internet, you be free to use whatever samples you want, free to use whatever clips from YouTube videos you want? I think yes. I think that it should be free, and here is why. So according to Dan Hunter of the Conversation.com, 2015, he says that creativity actually comes from motivation, and he says that if there's if you like pay people to do things, or if you tell them they can't do certain things, otherwise they won't get paid, it really limits creativity. And like I said with music, if it was not allowed to use any samples from any other music at all, like music would not at all be the same as it is today. Hip hop would be so different, and electronic music wouldn't even be able to get itself up and running. And this is actually a little analogy from David Miller from the Audio Masterclass newsletter 2010. They talk about how in the fashion industry, they purposefully made it so that you can't copyright like a collar or a pocket on a shirt or you can't copyright any piece of clothing, any article of clothing. You can only or trademark like the brand of the clothing, and that's why fashion industry has thrived, because you can basically use whatever combinations of whatever clothing you want to make new clothing. And so, what was it? David Miller was saying, if this was the music industry or the internet, there'd be way more creativity, way more things that would be able to be made, because it'd be free for everyone to use. So we talked about if copyright should be free on the internet, and if you want any more, if you want to learn more about copyright, go to YouTube and look up copyright, Introduction to Copyright from Crash Course on YouTube. Thank you very much.